Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today we're doing another episode of makeup that I want but I am not going to buy. This is kind of my version of anti-hauling things that I actually really want or am interested in and just talking myself out of them, telling y'all why I don't think I'm gonna buy them. Although I do say that, and in some of these videos I have purchased some of the things that I've anti-hauled. Let me know if you'd actually be interested in that video, like makeup that I anti-hauled that I actually bought. Maybe that could be quite fun and I could do little reviews of things. That could be cheeky. But anyways, as always in these videos, we're gonna be talking about palettes. All of these are palettes. I just have the most opinions about eyeshadow, let's be honest. So I'm going to scoot myself over here so we can put the pictures up here and we can talk about some makeup that I want but I will not be buying. I've noticed that a lot of these have a theme to them. I didn't realize that until I took the screenshots and I'm like, oh damn, there's a very solid theme and you will see. The first one being the Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes palette and also their little like squidgy kind of Super Shock shadows. Now, these tones of green, I mean, I absolutely adore green. It's one of my favorite eyeshadow colors to wear. I just feel beautiful when I wear greens. I say that while wearing a full pink eye look. But these tones of green, they just, ooh, they are so juicy, so rich, and from what I have seen, the reviews and the looks with this palette, that Ace Beauté's formula has significantly improved. I mean, I personally enjoyed Ace Beauté's formula in the beginning. I own the Flare and the Blossom Passion palette, and I really enjoyed them. I really do enjoy them a lot, but a lot of people have said that their new formula is significantly better. And those Super Shocks, like that like bright green, like the chartreuse green and also like the bright green, the one that's on the center finger, like the middle finger in the swatch, that's like, oh, I love that shade of green. But I have Cleona Heirloom. I have nearly hit pan on that shade, and that is probably the exact same shade of green. So I don't need that Super Shock sort of shadow. I know they're not called Super Shocks, but I'm calling them Super Shocks. And the palette is absolutely stunning, but I know I do not need this. I have so many beautiful grungy eyeshadows. Grungy palettes altogether, but also like dotted around in a bunch of other palettes. Like, I've got Sugar Pill Fun Size 2, I've got Shroud Arcana, I've got Lunar Beauty Moon Spell. This wouldn't really add anything new to my collection, and I think that's kind of the preface of a lot of the things in these videos. It's just, it wouldn't add anything new, but I can appreciate it from afar, and it is absolutely gorgeous. This one is one that I came this close to buying. I was so close, but I stopped myself, and this is the Shine by SD As Above, So Below collab collection that they have done in collaboration with Monica and Lisa, M. Jones, and Bizarre Revolta. I say your name wrong every single time, Lisa. I am so sorry. They are two creators on Instagram that I absolutely adore. I love them so much. Like, Monica is incredible, same with Lisa. Like, I'm so happy that like I can call them like mutuals and also maybe friends. A bit awkward if they're watching this video being like, what the fuck, Skye? And this collection is beautiful. They're two palettes. You can buy them as palettes or like as a bundle of singles, and they're all multi-chromes. They're all beautiful, unique multi-chromes. And as much as I want these so bad, I just want to buy like 4 shades. 4 shades. Because I know that like, if I had this many multi-chromes all in one go, like I would feel a bit overwhelmed, being like, okay, this is a lot of multi-chrome, there's a lot of sparkly shimmeriness, and I'm a bit overwhelmed. I personally like to buy singles when I do buy singles, except for Cleona, that's the only exception to the rule. I like to buy singles in either groups of 3 to 6. I don't like buying too many singles in one go. And especially nowadays, I'm trying to like kind of slow down my collection a little bit. I don't really fancy buying that many, and also like at the same time I hope that Shine by SD sells these as singles because I just want like 3 shades from each palette. Like, that's all I want. And also the bundle for like each individual palette and also the bundle of them together, it's quite expensive, and I understand why it's expensive because these are beautiful shifty multi-chromes and it's a collab with 2 amazing creators, but it's just not something that I can purchase myself. It's not something that I like have the funds for. But if these ever come out as singles, you bet your ass I am buying some. Because I just, the greens are just, and some of the peachier tones, like, oh, I want these so bad. If they're sold as singles, like, I can't promise that I'm not gonna buy them. I will buy them if they're singles. This next palette is really, really new, and this is from Nabla Cosmetics, and this is the Read My Mind palette. I think it's called Read My Mind, something like that. It looks like this. The packaging, Nabla's packaging is always so incredibly beautiful. It's so beautiful. It looks like a mosaic. Oh, I love the colors, it's all pretty. The inside, not gonna lie, I feel like there's a bit of wasted space there. I get that it's meant to be organized in kind of like quads or like rows and columns and stuff, which is quite satisfying, I must say. But I don't like the, like, what is that? Like the, I don't know, I don't like that there's like squares around each quad. Like, I don't like that they've literally marked out, this is a quad. And like at the very like far, what is it, the far left, how it says like scarlet, rose, sage, honey. Like, it's just bothering me that it's slightly too wide on that side, like it's not evenly like centered. I get that's the point, but it just hurts my brain. Very petty, I know, very, very petty. And these colors, so romantic, so stunning. This reminds me a lot of Nabla's palettes are kind of this like romantic, beautiful, like, I don't know what this is, but I think you get what I mean. Just really like sophisticated, very like glamorous, very like kind of Hollywood almost in a way. And so stunning. Like, this palette's beautiful. I love that like kind of like gray, kind of greenish sage row. That is so pretty in combination with like the pinks. Kind of gives me Melt Millennial Pinks vibes. Like, if you get rid of the bottom row, it reminds me a lot of that palette. Here's the thing. I have so many pinks in my collection, it's a bit obscene. And I'm wearing an all pink eye look today. Like, I could have done this eye look with this palette if I owned it, but I used the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream today. Aesthetically, it is beautiful, and it reminds me a lot of the Nabla Soul Blooming palette, which I also already own. And like, I can name, like, it also reminds me of like the Love palette, the Strawberry Dream, the SBT Blossom Passion, the Soul Blooming. Like, even though they're not, I'm not saying that they're dupes, but like, I can name you palettes that I own that would mimic this. So it just shows that I don't need it. This next palette, again, this is one that I am very close to buying. Very, very close. And because it's my birthday tomorrow, the day that I'm filming this, probably not when you're watching this video, it's probably long past my birthday, but the goblin in me is like, well, it's my birthday, therefore I can treat myself. This is the Odin's Eye Hella palette. I'm so sorry, I'm pronouncing it wrong. That's definitely pronounced wrong. This is a collab between Odin's Eye and Angelica Nyqvist. This reminds me of Club Nebula in a way, and I do own Club Nebula, which is, you know, also a collaboration with Angelica, but the greens and the pinks and the shimmers, and I love Odin's Eye's formula so much. I love their formula. Ridiculous. They're one of my favorites of all time. The color selection is so beautiful. The looks that I've seen from like people that have gotten this in PR, I'm like drooling over. This is a color story that I would use so much. Like, I feel like this palette is a combination of the SBT Tropical Vibes with the first two rows, and then like the bottom two are like the other palettes that I have mentioned, like the Nabla like Read My Mind palette and another palette that I'm gonna be mentioning a bit later. This color story speaks to me. Greens and pinks together, I love that color combination together. It makes me feel like a little garden fairy, little fairy sprite. I love it. And I love that bottom row with like the depth and like the deep, like the shadows look so textured and so multi-dimensional. However, I know I don't need this. Like, I know these colors are not going to be unique to my collection, and it's going to be limited edition. And here's the thing, like, if something's limited edition, I am less likely to buy it because I just feel bad using it and like featuring it in like, and I don't know, man. I have a complicated like love-hate relationship with limited edition stuff. But this palette's so pretty. I love the depth in it, like those deep, deep mattes. Oh, I love the combination of like midtones and deep mattes. and like a couple of light mattes. Like, this is such a beautiful ratio, and I really want it. Do I want? No, this is an anti-haul. We're just gonna move on actually, because now I'm just convincing myself to buy it, and that's not the point of this video. Anyways, next palette we're gonna be talking about. This one is the Beauty Bay Love Notes palette. I love Beauty Bay's formula as well. A lot of these brands that I'm mentioning, like, I've tried them before, and I love their formula. And this palette, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is so light. And I love pastels, don't get me wrong, but like, it just felt a bit one note. It felt a bit one note to me. That was a really bad joke, very sorry. And this also reminds me a lot of the Natasha Denona Love palette, which I do own. But I've seen so many people's looks with it, and so many people have taken pictures of it, and it doesn't look that pastel. I mean, it's obviously a lighter palette, but it's not as pasty and like washed out as Beauty Bay's photos. I'm trying to find one of my friends that owns it, because they took a picture with it and I was like, damn, because it did not look that pastel. It was kind of like a catfish. I was like, excuse me? Here we go. My friend Alex, by AlexPK on Instagram. She's coming through. Everyone give a clap to Alex for always doing the best product shots ever. This is her picture of the Love Notes palette. Doesn't that look, I screenshotted it, doesn't that look way nicer? Like, so not washed out, so, like, there is a good amount of depth to it, and Beauty Bay's shimmers are that beautiful, like, squidgy, like, Super Shock formula, really, like, textured, and, like, I own the Wilderness palette, and I really like Beauty Bay's formula. This is such a romantic color story. Again, reminds me a lot of the Read My Mind palette from Nabla. I told you there was a bit of a theme with these palettes. Like, I'm so suckered into these tones, but like I mentioned, I have so many pink palettes. Like, damn, like, look at... I own this palette, and granted it's not the same. Probably the Natasha Denona palette is more similar to this than this one, but like, I don't need any more pink palettes, and especially because this is new to me as well. Like, I definitely don't need any more, like, pink heavy palettes. I just don't. I really don't. But she's really pretty to look at. She's really stunning, and I'm looking at Alex's looks with it, and now I'm getting a bit antsy. I'm like, Alex, can you stop being so stunning and doing beautiful looks? I need to recreate that look, actually. This one right here, I'm recreating this. This is just an Alex Stan account, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry, actually. Changed my mind. I love Alex so much. I need to recreate some of her looks. I have so many of her looks screenshotted that I need to recreate that I haven't gotten around to because I'm just like, I just forgot. But yes, I'm recreating this look. That is stunning. Anyways, we are moving on from me drooling over how beautiful my friends are to this palette right here by Nabla Cosmetics, and this is the Dollhouse Palette. I want to try Blend Bunny so bad. I mentioned the Surge palette in my previous video in this series. I've decided that I do really want it, and it's so inspiring to me. I haven't stopped thinking about it and lusting after it since I saw it. But there's something about this palette as well, like, I don't know what it is with Blend Bunny. I normally don't like big palettes. They normally just kind of piss me off a little bit because it's just too much and a bit too overwhelming to me. Like, I think maximum amount of shades I can deal with, I'm only holding this up because it's the only palette I have in front of me, is 15. Like, I feel like this is like the absolute maximum. Like, 15 to 16 is enough. Like, this one is like it's just a bit too much, babes, but there's something about Blend Bunny's color schemes that are so unique and cool to me. Like, this palette is a neutral palette. And again, it's just so romantic because you got the purpley tones, you got the pop of blue in there, and you got the olives and the rosy browns and the like mauve colors, as well as the cool tones and the oranges. Like, this is the ultimate neutral palette. Like, you could pretty much create most different neutral looks with this palette. And my friend Jack, I'll put her pictures right here, they swatched out this palette on their Instagram stories, and the way that they swatched it is so satisfying to me. And like, just look. I remember seeing the initial pictures of it and thinking that that row with all of the deep mattes, I thought they all looked the exact same, but like, seeing them swatched out, Oh, I love again, I love that there's balance between like lighter tones, deeper tones, really rich shimmers, it's such a nice balance. It's so pleasing to look at. And seeing it swatched out, I'm like, damn, I want it more. Damn it. But I know myself, I know that I get overwhelmed with really big palettes like this. Even though it is very inspiring, like the color story, and very creative, I just get overwhelmed with big palettes. And as much as I love neutrals, because I do like neutrals now, I have learned that I do love fucking with a neutral. I've got most of this palette in my collection somewhere or another. Like, I've got those pinky tones, I've got those olive tones, like the purpley tones, the dusty tone. Like, I've got this in, like, scattered around. Maybe not all in one place, but I've got it. I don't need it. But she's very cute. And I still want the Surge palette. The Surge palette will be mine one day. I have decided. It shall be mine. And the last makeup product that I want that I'm not gonna buy, this is kind of like a collection of products. I don't want all of them, but I just wanted to share. Viseart came out with the Petite Mattes collection. Now, these are the like little petite versions of their like very famous eyeshadow palettes, as you can see right here, in just smaller pan sizes and a bit cheaper. Which I think is so much more, that's really smart actually, because they have like the pretty packaging and the smaller size and the like cheaper price for consumers, and then they have like the makeup artist version. I think that's very, very smart. I'm surprised they didn't do this sooner when Viseart were like at their peak. I love this idea. I love the packaging. I have been wanting to try Viseart for so goddamn long, and I have nearly bought like is it called the Deep Mattes? I have almost bought the Deep Mattes so many goddamn times, like the one with the orange, like the deep, like grungy tones. I have almost bought that palette, like the full-size one, so many times. For years. For years I've been wanting that palette and lusting after it. And like now that it's in mini form and it's like, it's so small and cute, I'm just like, ooh. And even the editorial brights as well, even though I don't need more rainbow palettes, like I have rainbow palettes that I like. I think just the fact that it's Viseart and it's in a small little compact thing and it's something that I've been lusting after, my fantasy self wants these. Practically, would I really use these that much? I don't think so. I think I'm just more in love with the idea that they finally did this. And I just love the packaging, it's just so cute. My fantasy self wants to try Viseart, but I don't think practically I ever will, because like, none of their stuff, as much as I do aesthetically love it, I don't think I would realistically use it that much. Like the grungy, like deep matte one, that's probably the one I'd use the most. And like I said, I've got colors like that in my collection that I already have, and why should I buy something brand new when I already have stuff in my collection that I could use? Maybe it's not all in one section, but you know, I could like mix and match, and I like doing that. So yeah, this one is probably the one I'd least likely to buy, but I just love the idea of this so much. But anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know, are there any products that you want but you're not gonna buy? What are some things you're anti-hauling? I would like to know. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, you can follow me on my Instagram. It's beautyybyskye right here. I post all my looks there and I'm active on there every single day. If you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Raincloud Candles Co. We are a small queer-owned business based in the UK and we make handmade candles, as you can see behind me. And we've got some secrets hiding there as well. Some little secrets. Shh, it's the spring collection. Coming soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.